All right. Hello, everybody. So today we're going to be doing a video of installing some more ceiling fans while replacing the two that I have. I have this Make It Air thingy right here with 3 blades. And I also have this Boston Harbor. I'm going to be replacing both of these. So I can get the lamp turned on here. There we go. I'm going to be replacing one that Make It Air thingy with a Boston Harbor, Encon Casanova looking hugger. And that Boston Harbor is going to be replaced with a SMC X42, I think. So I'm going to try to get the model name. Yep, it is an X42. So, yeah. And I know this is late, but I'm still going to install these anyway, regardless of how late these are. So, yeah, I just need to find tools that are needed that'll make the install go much more quicker. So, all right. All right. This should go pretty straightforward because I just have the SMC thingy in one piece, minus the bulb and the globe, but those are very fragile parts, and I just don't want to risk them breaking because this globe right here, you need to buy a whole new unit just to replace this. Get the same exact shape. And I have this funny DEL bulb in there. This bulb, the globe that's going to be on the uh, SMC is too small to even handle that bulb, so I have a smaller one that I'm going to use. Just going to put it on the desk. I would be very upset if it broke. And it wouldn't be a 100% total catastrophe, but I still wouldn't want to have to buy a whole new globe because that is a lot of money wasted. These things are not very cheap either. Although these ceiling fans right here are one of the only modern ceiling fans that I actually would entertain buying. These are great quality fans, especially in today's garbage standards of hideous designs. This is an awesome product. This is a 10 out of 10 fan in my opinion. It's nothing like a Hunter Beacon Hill. It's nothing like a Casablanca Lady Delta, but I would say this is an excellent product. It's very old school looking. It's not stinking silver. Like, this is a phenomenal product. I hope that didn't damage the blade. Nope, it didn't. All right. One thing that I really liked about this fan is this was very quick to uninstall and install. Definitely wouldn't see that on most modern ceiling fans. Most of them, the installation process alone takes a long time, which is ridiculous. But that's what happens with modern products usually. But this is an exception to that rule. And there we go. The mounting bracket is down. And now we have the other bracket to hang up. And this mounting bracket is not the right one. This did not come with the mounting bracket when I got it. But these are really cheap at Menards. These are like $6. So not too much of a loss for me. All right. And then now let's get the fan. Now let's get the fan hung up. I also had to replace the downrod ball on this too because the downrod ball that this had when it was from the factory is super tiny. There we go. And we don't have a ground in this case, so we're just gonna tie it somewhere so it can bond to the grounding system. All right. All right, there we go. All right, got the canopy on. We'll put a light bulb in there. I'm going to use one of these Sylvania vintage DELs. I find those were pretty good light bulbs to use in ceiling fans. Yeah, this globe is definitely not the same as the Boston Harbor one, but for 35 years apart, they are very similar ceiling fans. Does this not even fit? This globe is so stinking short. This doesn't even fit. And yeah, this is just a little too dodgy here. Yeah, I'm not using this bulb because this, even that is too big for uh the little lamp socket that this thing has. But good news is I have other bulbs I'm gonna try. This one's a tad shorter. We'll see if this one will work. Should. Oh yeah, that works. So yeah, that vintage DEL that I was gonna use, it was in fact too small for this. Kind of a shame, but nothing else I could do because I like the vintage glow of those bulbs. There we go. Oh yeah, that should work pretty good in here. All right. Now let's see if this works. Yep, that works. Oh yeah, that absolutely does work. Yep, that's pretty good. Move on to the other fan now. That installed pretty quick. All right, got the camera running. This one's going to take a bit longer because this one I absolutely do have to assemble in pieces because this is a flush mount fan that I'm going to be installing, and those can't be installed in one piece, so this is going to go a bit slow. Although this fan here does not really have a light, so yeah. Just for purposes of trying to get this out, I'm not going to put the blade brackets off. In storage, I will absolutely be doing the blade brackets because that is just the proper way of storing a fan like this. And it can't be just slide it right off. And this one I am in fact using Wago lever nuts, which I don't ever trust these for a low power or for a high power application, but something like a ceiling fan, I trust them. And I'm going to take this bulb out. And I am using my shirt because these type of bulbs you can't touch with your fingers. Their life expectancy would be very short if it were like this. So sorry viewers, I am using my shirt to get the light bulb off. All right. There we go. Now we should be able to lift the fan up without problem. We did lift it up without problem. It's a very heavy model too. I'm surprised it doesn't move more air than that, than what it did. I calculated the CFM rating on this. It was like just under 400, which is kind of pitiful for a 52-inch fan, especially a higher end model. Just so you guys know, I am unscrewing the mounting bracket. My computer just doesn't tilt any further back, so that's why you don't get the greatest camera angle from my computer. All right, there we go. Got this bracket off and now ready to install the Boston Harbor. Gonna be such a great fan. That hole that you use to thread the wires through is not very good, or not very big, I should say. But at least this has the easier, in my opinion, of the two mounting systems. This uses the type where you just use screws to get the motor housing. It's very simple. You don't need an extra wrench for that. I like that concept. All right. Now we're going to remove these screws right here because those do have to come out. Oh, no, no, don't fall. Don't fall. There we go. And now we're going to install the motor. So we're going to install the green wires to the green wire coming from the ceiling. And the grounds, I don't care how good of a connection they made, but I did check them anyway, just because it's best practice to do so. Got white, the neutral. That's good and strong connection. Shove that up in the box. And the two hot wires, black with black, and the blue goes with blue for the light kit. There we go. Those are very strong connections as well. I'll shove those up in the box here. All right. We're good on the wiring department. All right. Fan motor turns, that's good. Now with these flush style fans, you want to make sure that all the wires are out of the way, including that safety cable, which I think is kind of worthless. I mean, it's standard for Canada, but not in the US. For those who live in the Canada, do you mind telling me how that system works? Because I don't think that's going to support the whole weight of a fan. Not to mention, I've never seen in my life of one of those ceiling fans being hung like that. It just seems like a thing, a tactic to increase profit margins. And there we go. Nice, quick, easy mounting system. Don't get a mounting system that quick out of one of those bolt nut things. All right, now let's continue. Getting the motor housing hooked up. All right. The canopy. This is a twist and lock one. All right. That and that. And it doesn't look extremely level because of the way the ceiling is in here. The next fan that we put in there hopefully will be a down rod mount and it will level itself out. All right, there we go. Nice, quick, easy mounting system. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go on the bed to install the blades. I realized I forgot the other two blades. I'm gonna go back out to the shop and get those. All right. One blade is on. All right. All right. Three blades are on. Now I have to get the other two blades that are sitting on the floor. All right. Now we got those cool blades installed. Now we got to install the light. And we'll be done for the day. All right. The light kit on here. The one con with these Boston Harbor fans is, at least this particular model, is the light kit is not the easiest to assemble. And as a result, you have to deal with a lot of screws flying all over the place. All right. Now I have to find where that other screw went. Oh, good thing is, I found it under 15 seconds. There it goes again. I hate losing screws, especially when they're so tiny. I'm sure we could get by with two screws, but there should be three. I hate losing screws. Well, we're kind of out of luck, unless if this screw will work. I don't think it will. Doesn't my luck with anything. Well, you know what? This might actually work. Don't slip, screwdriver. Stay on the screw head. There we go. There we go. Like it's installed now. We just got to install the shades and the bulbs. Uh-oh. That does not sound good. I say emergency vehicles outside. That is some scary stuff. All right. All right. And then last shade. Come on, shade, get in there. I don't have time for the nonsense. Get in the shade. Doesn't look like any of them will fall. And I'm going to be installing, well, I'll be using these 40-watt incandescent Edison style bulbs. To make sure the fan and the light are going to work. The fan and the light do work. Awesome. Well, there you have it. Two very nice looking ceiling fans. Wow, that looks nice. Over and out. This is right.